I'm Callum, this is John, we're from Slingshot Edge.
And we're actually in Edinburgh today in Greyfriars Graveyard. You might have heard of the film Greyfriars Bobby. It was a big Disney film. It's quite ironic because we're going to talk to you about two potential problems killing your sales performance. The first one is many sellers find it hard to show their buyer why they should choose them over their competition.
And it's worse than that, because even if they can see why they should choose you, they don't choose you most of the time, they choose themselves. 60% of deals end in no decision. Now, it's our day jobs to help customers address these problems. So this video, or this series of videos, is all about how you can use some of these techniques as well to address that problem or these problems for yourself. So first of all, we're going to start by looking at how people actually make decisions.
And to do that, we're going to go and meet someone who was that influential, he actually convinced Thomas Jefferson to change some of the words in the US Declaration of Independence. So this is the first of a series of videos. We will get better, so stay tuned.
I promise we'll get better. Okay, we're on our journey now to see this most influential fellow.
You can tell we're in Scotland now. You can hear the pipes in the background.
Pipes have just started. But on our way, we've just seen something that I forgot about, which is quite incredible. We'll just turn this camera around to show you. Okay, John, what are we looking at?
So this is the tomb of Sir George Mackenzie, Sir George Bloody Mackenzie, who was quite a bad man, but we'll talk about him in a future video. But this is one of the most prolific poltergeist sites in the whole wide world. In fact, it's now closed off to the public because there's been that many incidents of people being scratched, bruised, or even rendered unconscious.
There you go. Can you see any poltergeists in there? Oh, it does look quite scary actually. Gives me the shivers.
So enough of that.
Let's get out of here.
Okay folks, we're now at the statue of David Hume. He was one of the greatest thinkers of the 1700s, and he was quoted as saying that reason is and ought only to be slave to the passions. So what did he mean by that? Well, he meant it was desire and emotion that motivated human behaviour and not rationale and logic. And it was that understanding of human behaviour that enabled Hume to convince Jefferson to change the words on the Declaration of Independence.
So he managed to influence a president 300 years ago. You need to influence your buyer today. How did he do it? Well, he did it by showing that people make decisions not based on logic, but by being based on emotion. And that's what you have to do, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do right now. Many sellers have got emotion working against them. So here's what I mean. Here's your buyer and here's you trying to sell your product. There's your product or service there. And the emotion is working against you. Because of course it's not just you, you've got competition. And from your buyer's point of view, they're looking at these different products. They all look similar and they're going, I can't choose, I'm confused, I don't know what to do. That's one emotion. And the other emotion is, no matter which one of these that I choose, it might not work. There's risk involved there. I might get fired. That's a huge change project. So I'll just stay where I am, thanks very much. And that accounts for that 60% no decision that you spoke about earlier. So instead, you want to get emotion working for you. How do you do that? Well, instead of going on about the logical arguments about why your buyer should choose your product, instead focus on this. There's a little sinkhole sitting under your buyer, and that is some sort of change in your buyer's situation, perhaps market conditions, and that's making them think, right, I can't solve the problems in the way that I used to solve them, so I have to look at the market. So instead of focusing here, focus over here, do your research and make this sinkhole as big as possible. Make your buyer realize the danger of not doing anything, and do that by providing them with insight. And it's not just insight, you're not just trying to frighten them here. You're going to provide them with, oh, what a mess there. You're going to provide them with empathy to show them that you know how you feel. And if you can do that, that's much more powerful than using logical arguments. And if you do that, your buyer's much more likely to choose you, and you'll be using that emotion that Hume and Jefferson documented all these years ago.